Our world is full of noise, cars, phones, screens, and endless chatter. But the loudest noise is often inside our own minds, racing with worries and plans. Even in peaceful places, our thoughts drag us away from the present. We're always connected, always busy, rarely letting our minds rest. This constant mental noise leaves us stressed, anxious, and longing for peace. A quiet mind isn't empty, it's present, clear, and calm. When we find stillness within, we reconnect with ourselves and the world. True peace isn't about escaping life, but finding stillness right where we are. The search for inner stillness is ancient. Wisdom traditions everywhere point to the power of a quiet mind. Zen stories, simple and direct, light the way back to ourselves. They remind us that peace is always available if we let our minds settle. One story tells of a student desperate for clarity, seeking a master for answers. We often think peace is something to achieve, but Zen points us to a simpler truth. Stillness isn't forced. It's allowed, a natural state when we stop struggling. This lesson is a guide for our busy, distracted lives. We don't need to escape our lives to find peace. We can let our own muddy water settle right here. In a quiet village, a student named Kaito was tormented by restless thoughts. He sought wisdom everywhere, but the more he learned, the more confused he became. Hearing of a Zen master on a distant mountain, Kaito set out, hoping for a secret to quiet his mind. After a long journey, he found the master, who listened patiently as Kaito poured out his frustrations. Kaito begged for a way to find stillness, describing his endless mental struggle. He had tried everything: meditation, discipline, effort, but nothing worked. The more he fought his thoughts, the more turbulent his mind became. Exhausted, he pleaded for help, desperate for clarity and peace. The master responded not with words, but with a simple act. He filled a jar with stream water, stirred in mud, and set it before Kaito. In silence, they sat together, the jar cloudy and opaque. Kaito tried to will the water clear, growing frustrated as nothing changed. The master remained calm, while Kaito's mind mirrored the muddy water, restless and unclear. The silence pressed in, amplifying Kaito's inner turmoil. He was faced with a riddle he couldn't solve, his thoughts swirling with impatience. The lesson was hidden in the stillness, waiting for Kaito to see. At last, Kaito broke the silence, begging for guidance. The master simply said, "Do nothing. The water will clear itself. Let it be." Kaito was stunned. Could it really be that simple? He stopped trying to fix the water and just watched. Slowly, the mud began to settle on its own. Kaito realized peace wasn't something to force, but something to allow. In stillness, clarity emerged, naturally, effortlessly. The master's presence was the true teaching, calm, patient, and quietly wise. The jar of muddy water is a metaphor for our mind. The water is our natural, clear state. The mud, our thoughts and worries. When we struggle or try to force clarity, the mud only stirs more. But if we simply observe, the mud settles, and our mind returns to peace. We are not the mud, we are the water. The master's instruction, "Do nothing," is the heart of the parable's wisdom. In a world obsessed with productivity, this advice sounds radical, but doing nothing is not laziness. It's the wisdom of letting go, allowing things to settle on their own. When we stop interfering, peace and clarity emerge naturally. The master's simple instruction is an invitation to trust this natural process. The parable beautifully exposes our deep-seated need for control. Kaito, like so many of us, believes he should be the master of his own mind. He thinks he should be able to command his thoughts to be silent, just as a king commands his subjects. When he fails, he feels like a failure. This desire for control is a major source of our suffering. We believe that if we could just manage every thought, every feeling, and every outcome, then we would finally be happy and at peace. We spend an enormous amount of energy trying to maintain this illusion of control over the uncontrollable. The master shows Kaito that true mastery does not come from forceful control. It comes from wise acceptance. He does not try to control the water. He understands its nature and allows it to behave according to that nature. In the same way, a quiet mind is not achieved by becoming a tyrant over our thoughts. It is achieved by becoming a kind and patient observer. We cannot stop the clouds from appearing in the sky, and we cannot stop thoughts from arising in our minds. They are natural phenomena. The suffering comes not from the thoughts themselves, but from our struggle against them, from our frustrated attempts to control them. Letting go of this need for control is a liberating act. It does not mean we become passive victims of our thoughts. It means we change our relationship with them. We can learn to see them, acknowledge them, and then let them go, like watching clouds drift across the sky. When we stop trying to control every little thing inside our heads, a tremendous amount of energy is freed up. This energy can then be used for more creative and compassionate purposes. We become less tense, less anxious, and more open to the flow of life. We learn to dance with the waves instead of trying to command the ocean. The master's lesson is that clarity is not something we create, but something we uncover. It is already there, beneath the mud. Our job is not to manufacture peace, but to stop creating disturbance. This is a humble and gentle path. It does not require great strength or willpower in the traditional sense. It requires a different kind of strength, the strength to be still, the courage to let go, and the faith to trust in a natural process. By giving up the illusion of control, we gain something far more valuable, a genuine and lasting connection to the peace that already resides within us. As Kaito watched the jar, the water slowly cleared, the mud settled, and light shone through. He realized clarity comes from stillness, not by forcing, but by allowing. Like the jar, when our mind is still, we see clearly. The peace we seek is within us, waiting for the mud to settle. The parable of the muddy water speaks to our modern lives. Our world constantly shakes our jar. Phones buzzing, endless notifications, and daily pressures cloud our minds. We forget that beneath all this, there's a natural state of calm. So yes, the wisdom is simple. Don't fight the mud. Step back and let clarity return. Anxiety is like constantly shaking a jar of muddy water. Our minds racing with what-ifs, never settling in the present. The more we fight or resist anxiety, the more it stirs up, leaving us exhausted. But if we simply observe it, like watching a storm cloud pass, the mud begins to settle. We find peace not by eliminating anxiety, but by changing our relationship with it. In our hyper-connected world, distraction is constant. Notifications and endless scrolling keep our minds stirred, leaving us scattered and unfocused. Like water in a jar, our thoughts never settle. But by unplugging, even briefly, we let our minds become clear again. Stillness is the antidote. Let the jar be, and clarity returns. Stress is the heavy weight we feel when life's demands seem too much. Like mud in a jar, it clouds our minds and drains our energy. We try to push through, but it only stirs things up more. Sometimes, the wisest act is to set the jar down, allowing the mud to settle and clarity to return. The mud remains, but it no longer defines the water or us. The gentle art of sitting still is simple. Find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, and set a timer for 5 minutes. You're not trying to empty your mind, just letting thoughts settle like mud in water. Each time you sit, you're giving your mind a moment of rest, allowing clarity to emerge naturally. This simple act is the foundation for a quiet mind in a noisy world. Your breath is a gentle anchor, always with you in the present moment. When thoughts swirl or stress rises, simply notice your breath. Feel the air entering, your chest rising and falling as you exhale. Like an anchor in a stormy sea, your breath keeps you steady. Return to it again and again and find peace wherever you are. Welcoming the mud, a practice of acceptance. The master didn't tell Kaito to get rid of the mud, but to let it be. A quiet mind isn't free of mud, it's at peace with it. When difficult feelings arise, greet them with gentle curiosity, not resistance. By holding our emotions with care, like a small frightened animal, we allow the mud to settle and discover a deeper peace within. Section 4. Creating pockets of stillness in a busy day. The parable teaches us that we do not need to run away to a mountaintop to find peace. We can find it right where we are, by learning to let the jar be. This means we can integrate moments of stillness into our everyday lives, no matter how busy they are. You do not need to set aside an hour for meditation to experience the benefits of a quiet mind. You can find pockets of stillness in the small, in-between moments of your day. These small pauses are like setting the jar down for a moment, allowing the mud to settle just a little bit before you pick it up again. Look for opportunities to practice non-doing. When you are drinking your morning coffee or tea, just drink it. Resist the urge to check your phone, read the news, or plan your day. For those few minutes, simply experience the warmth of the cup, the aroma, and the taste. This is a small act of letting the jar be. When you are walking from your car to your office, feel your feet on the ground. Notice the sky. Listen to the sounds around you without labeling them. You are transforming a mundane moment into a mini meditation, a chance to let the water clear. You can also create stillness by doing one thing at a time. Our modern habit of multitasking is a form of constant stirring. It keeps our minds fragmented and agitated. Try to bring your full attention to one task. When you are washing the dishes, just wash the dishes. Feel the warm water on your hands. See the soap bubbles. Hear the sound of the plates. When you are talking with a friend, just listen. Give them your full, undivided attention. This practice of single tasking is a powerful way to calm the mind and bring clarity and presence into everything you do. These pockets of stillness add up. Each small pause, each moment of mindful attention contributes to a quieter mind. You are training yourself, moment by moment, to stop the habitual shaking of the jar. You are learning that peace is not found in some future destination after you have solved all your problems. Peace is available right here, in this simple act, in this single breath, in this quiet moment. By sprinkling these moments of non-doing throughout your day, you begin to carry a sense of stillness with you, allowing you to navigate the busyness of life with greater calm, clarity, and grace. The journey home to yourself isn't about reaching a distant place. It's a gentle return to your own quiet center. Each small step, like a mindful breath or a moment of stillness, lets the mud of your mind settle. This path isn't a straight line, but a lifelong practice of noticing and returning. Celebrate the small moments of peace you find along the way. The path is always open to you. Section 2. The ever-present clear water. The most hopeful message of the Zen parable is this: the clear water is never truly gone. It is always present. Even when our mind is at its muddiest, when we feel completely lost in anxiety and confusion, the clarity is still there. It is our fundamental nature. It is the very essence of our consciousness. It has not been damaged or destroyed by the mud. It has only been temporarily obscured. This is a truth you can always rely on. Your inner peace is not something you have to create or build. You only need to uncover it. You only need to allow the mud to settle. This understanding changes everything. It means that no matter how stressed or overwhelmed you feel, there is always a way back to peace. You do not have to fight your thoughts or banish your feelings. You just have to be still and allow the natural process of clearing to take place. This is not a passive act, but a deeply wise and compassionate one. It is an expression of trust in yourself and in the nature of your own mind. You are trusting that, given a chance, your mind knows how to find its way back to a state of calm and balance, just as water naturally finds its level. As you walk this path, you will discover that a quiet mind is not an empty mind. It is a spacious mind. It is a mind that has room for joy, for sorrow, for creativity, and for love. When the water is clear, you can see the world and yourself with greater understanding and compassion. You can respond to life's challenges with wisdom instead of with frantic reactivity. You become a source of peace, not only for yourself but also for those around you. Your own stillness can become a gentle invitation for others to let their own muddy water settle, just by being in your presence. So let the Master's simple teaching be a lantern for your path. Remember the jar of muddy water. When your mind feels chaotic, remember to be gentle. Stop shaking the jar, set it down, have the courage to do nothing. Trust in the quiet magic of allowing things to be. Your true nature is as clear and bright as the sky reflected on a still lake. It is always there, waiting for you. All you have to do is be still and let the mud settle. Peace is every step. It is in every quiet breath. It is here for you now.